Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, and I hope to God that I do not look like what I've been through. Guys, I'm so exhausted. Even as we speak, I'm fighting sleep. I'm so tired, but we're gonna go through the movie night episode and this episode. I may or may not put in clips, guys. I don't even think I have the energy for it today. But because Love Island USA is finally done, we'll probably be back on track now that I'm only focusing on one daily show at a time. And if anybody was interested in the Love Island USA spinoff show, I will be recapping that on the reality recap. You can click here if you're on mobile, or you can find that in the description box below. So before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down. No, not a yawn coming, bro. Oh, guys, last night I was driving and I caught myself falling asleep at least 5 or 6 times. 2 of those times for sure was the road catching me. Because you know how the road has like the gritty side that reminds you that like you're veering off the road? Yeah, I hit that a few times. Starting from episode 33, we have Lauren who takes Harrison for a chat to see where his head is at because she doesn't want to look stupid. He's like, I would be stupid for going back with Tony. But we see that that's basically what he's going to keep doing. He's going to keep entertaining Tony. And at the end of episode 35, it's definitely looking shady boots from the both of them. Harrison later talks to Shakira, and he does admit that he would be more open to explore with Tony if Cash wasn't in the picture. I'll be honest with you. I honestly thought that Cash was just here for banter. But as the connection with Tony and Harrison is continuing to like be alive, he's actually bothered by it. And I was like, oh, okay, plot twist. Didn't expect that. Then we have Dejon who says that his head's gone because there's no one else he wants to be with. And he just can't understand why Meg is so pissed off. Dejon is a scary, scary man. Scary, scary man because you have drugged this girl through the mud, right? You've made her feel like a mug. She is a mug. She knows that, but she's still going to say, my name's Meg, not Mug. Okay, girl. You are now in a position where you have to throw a Hail Mary and then you want to close things off. And because she's not pleased, you're confused why she wouldn't be happy with you. You're confused. He's obviously not confused, but he's going to front as if he has no idea why she's upset. Then he's going to talk to Helena. Helena's like, oh yeah, you can't win with Meg, can you? Oh, she always says, I'm Meg, not Meg. Here's the thing with a pick-me, yeah? A pick-me is not only going to be a pick-me to men who she's romantically interested in. She wants the validation from any man, even at the detriment of her own friendship. You're telling me you're out here kikiing about your best girlfriend in the house with the man who you know is not doing right by your friend? And then he's later going to turn on you and is like, yeah, by the way, Helena was saying mad things about you, Meg. And then Meg is supposed to be upset at Dejon. But because now Dejon has presented a new enemy, she's using that energy that's supposed to be directed at Dejon to now be mad at, what's his face? What's her name? What is her name? Helena. I'm like, this man is so... He's so good at the mental games when it comes to Meg. And the saddest part is it has only worked on Meg. Meg is the only person who his games are working on. And I'm thinking, was he able to suss that out? Or did he just get lucky? Because, wow. Moving on, child. In the evening, Tony tells Ben off because he wants to be friends again. And she's like, you have said so many like bad things about me. So why would I be friends with you? You know what I'm saying? And I do agree. Even Maya made a comment at the recoupling, like, Ben, I'm not even talking about that. Like, your comments are unnecessary right now. Ben loves to humble a woman. I don't know. It's weird. We saw Dejon sulking at the door. I'm sure I'm mixing up timelines and stuff, but yeah, basically he's just trying to seem like he's the victim. Child, nobody cares. Then we see Emma, who is confused about Connor's behavior. I didn't mention it in the previous episode, but basically Connor is just wondering why Emma is so involved in Harry's situation. Listen, whether or not the girl wants to be with him, there's still some feelings there that make her want to stick it to Harry for whatever reason, right? Not for whatever reason. He cheated. So yeah, her being in the villa in the first place should have been your sign, Connor. But seeing how she's acting really should tell you, okay, there are some residual things going on with her and him that they need to sort out and that he doesn't need to be a part of. We see Harrison literally poking Tony. And then she's like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you flirt with me and then you pretend like nothing's going on. You know what I'm saying? Then in the morning, Ben is happy that things are PG between him and Andrada. They're PG because she has eyes for somebody else. And then we see Dejon and Meg, and he's like, we've gone through all these tests. We've gone through more tests than anybody else in here, and we just keep coming back to each other because there's no other connection like this one. Oh my gosh. And then he keeps egging on the whole Helena thing. Like, he is so determined to make somebody else the villain so that he gets off scot-free, which he does every single time. Helena and Meg, I do not wish this kind of burden on anybody. The way that they're able to see very clearly that their man ain't shit, both like the other men to the girl and their men to themselves, they can see it clear as day, and they still let them get away with things time and time and time and time and time again. Man, to be a bird, it must be so exhausting. Anyways, later on, Tony and Lauren have a chat basically to clear things up. She doesn't want to expose Harrison's behavior fully, but I think that she should have if she's really looking out for Lauren. But we later find out she's really not looking out for Lauren like that. Then we see Dejon hatching a plan to make Meg his exclusive partner. It was so blah. He took her up to the terrace. He's like, yeah, I just wanted us to have like a moment between us. Who is checking for time with Meg or Dejon? Nobody cares. Like, go and have your conversation in peace. But anyways, he says all these things of why she's great and whatever, and then they become closed off and she's so excited. She runs and she tells the girls because, of course, Dejon told the guys. And the girls didn't even show any excitement whatsoever. They were more excited to hear that there was going to be movie night than they were to hear that one of the girls in the villa has been closed off. That's a big deal. That's a telltale sign that even your friends, whoever you consider to be your friend in this group of women, don't support this decision. And you don't see an issue with that. Okay, let's move on to movie night. The first title is When Harry Met Helena, Shakira, Yasmin, and Rio. Harry admits that he will only be respectful to a woman who demands it. He tells Helena that he's ready to have sex with her. He tells Harrison that he can get away with everything, like that happened in Casa Amor, and that Harrison will one day get on his level. He also speaks to Helena about Dejon's game. So Meg was told that she needs to open her eyes, because if your best friends are saying that, hey, your man is playing a game, maybe there's more to that you need to investigate. She was so offended. And I'm like, Meg, you can't be helped. And the funny thing is, watch her have this epiphany like 3 or 4 days later. When a girl says something about her man, she does not hear it. She has to see it and feel it for herself for it to be valid. And it's not to say that you take the advice of every girl, you listen to the word of every girl, but if every girl is saying the same thing, you have to think, maybe my man is the problem. Like, Meg, does that not cry? Meg has more issues with women than she does with her man. And we're going to see that in this episode. Dejon says that there's definitely a spark between him and Meg and that everybody should move on, which is just crazy. Like, he shuts things down so quick. He does not want anybody to raise any argument ever because he knows he will lose. And then it pivots back to Helena, who really isn't worried about Harry's behavior because she's like, this is typical Harry. Meg and Helena start going back and forth, and Helena says that they will address their issues later. I don't think they addressed it as much as they could have, but yeah, clearly this friendship is a farce. These relationships are a farce, but for the sake of saying that they're a strong foursome or saying they have a strong connection, they're just gonna keep putting up with the BS. The next one is She's All Tony. It's basically all of Tony's like catchphrases or these iconic moments that she's had with people. And then they show the conversation of her getting emotional regarding Harrison because she didn't realize she had as much feelings for him as she does. Cash does speak up and he's like, honestly, it's irritating because I didn't know that things were that deep between y'all two. However, I'm not in a place to be mad because you did have a long time with him and like you're being true to yourself. So it is what it is. Harrison basically is like, well, you didn't say all of that before. Well, why would she? You came back with somebody else. You hurt her feelings. Why would... Harrison, oh gosh, sometimes I forget that he really is 22. Like, he hurts my brain, truly. But anyways, Lauren is trying to ask, like, what's been going on between Tony and Harrison, and Tony doesn't want to speak up. She's like, well, you'll find it for yourself. Harrison is supposed to be accountable to you, so I'm not going to say anything. So, yeah. And it does come up later. The next one is Young Bull. Is Harrison talking smack about his connection with Tony to all the girls, and I thought that would be the nail in the coffin for Tony. It was not. And then we see him being very flirty with Tony, which obviously backs up what Tony was just saying. Basically that Harrison is not as squeaky clean as he's making it seem. I feel like they missed the opportunity to show what he was doing in the bathroom to Tony, but whatever. Emma calls Tony bitter, and I'm like, Emma? Not too much from you. I like that she gathered Helena. I like that she gathered Harry, but you are on a show to chase after a man who cheated on you a long time ago just to stick it to him. If anybody's bitter, it's you. Tony didn't say all that, but I'm saying all that for Tony. Like, please, Emma. Anyways, the next one is good Dejon hunting. Mr. I'm open is telling every girl that he's open, and Meg is really triggered that he called Andrada baby girl, and he's like, baby girl. Like, he mocks this girl. Every time she brings up a concern, he laughs in her face. Every time, like, she's holding him accountable, I'm open, but I said I'm open, but I said I'm open. Even from the time that they were having a challenge, and I think, who was the girl that he kissed? Was it Tony? And she's like, why are you grabbing her ass? Oh, but I didn't squeeze it. Like, he mocks this girl. He has apparently made a serious comment about baby girl. Now he's like, well, that's just the way I speak. But he's also like, baby girl, making a joke. Meg, come on, girl. Open your eyes. Like Andrada said, open your eyes. Dejon talks over her because he knows that his best approach is to just make sure that the other person doesn't get a word in. Andrada then pulls a Dejon because basically it did look like Andrada was still fiending for him. And Ben is like, bro, you said that you were here for me. Like, what's that about? And she's like, no, but I told you that I still wanted him. And it would be a disservice for me to close off my options. But in Casa Amor, Ben asked you, are you here for Ben or are you here with me as a safety net because you actually want to be with Dejon? And you shut that down completely. So, girl, Andrada, don't. Everybody's so damn hypocritical in this house. And not me siding with Ben. The next one is Shaka Blanca, and it's Shakira talking smack about Helena. But honestly, the smack talk was equal from everybody. From Helena, from Tony, from Shakira, from Meg. And so the girls are turning on Shakira, and even the guys were trying to egg it on with their messy selves. They were like, oh, Shakira, you can't say things like that. It's not me. It's not nice. It's mean girl energy, whatever. You are literally wearing her clothes while trying to steal her man from her. Of course she's going to have negative things to say about you. And you have said crazy things, not only about Shakira, but about all the other women. Helena and Meg have said, and the other Megan have said things about Yasmin. They've said things about Melisha when she was there. They've said things about Shakira. They've said things about all the girls, especially the girls who have tried it on with their men. So shut your mouth. The next one is Free Billikis, and it's basically Billikis being vindicated because Dejon was being very flirty with her, and Meg was like, oh, okay, sorry, Billikis, I didn't realize that the man was being duplicitous. Yes, girl, you did. You know your man at this point. You do. Let's be so for real. The Helena games is Helena looking like a mug, chasing every man who would give her attention. And then lastly is the Meg. It is Little Miss I would never say anything, saying all kinds of mean things to all the girls. And Shakira pipes up, and I'm so glad she did, which isn't like new for her. And she's like, this is why you can't be on your high horse saying, oh, I would never say those mean things, because we all say mean things, especially in the heat of the moment. And in this conversation, Dejon is being quiet because he knows he doesn't want to pipe up so that any heat is back on him. But he's like, oh, you see, Helen is not even backing Meg up. The man is actually sick. Like, he wants Meg to be isolated so that her only lifeline is him. She can only trust in his words. I'm sure he's going to bring up to Meg at some point, oh yeah, when there was an altercation, Helena didn't have your back. But you know who had your back? I did. I told the girls that they need to shut it down. I told the girl, I didn't like that they were dogpiling you. Oh, stop it. Literally stop it. So anyways, on to today's episode. We have Ben, who's mad at Andrada because he's like, oh, she pipes up at everybody's situation. And as much as I do agree that she has been sticking her nose in everybody's situation, Ben obviously does not like an outspoken woman. He doesn't like a woman who's able to stand her ground. He doesn't like a woman who's able to push back. So if you are that woman, just don't even waste your time with Ben. He will try to humble you. He cannot take a strong woman, okay? Then we have Shakira, who's annoyed by Meg's comments, but she's more tickled at the fact that Meg and Helena are at odds right now. They also are not concerned, but they do talk about Meg and Helena's men being very, very manipulative and using these girls as like their scapegoats all the time. Like they're able to get away with things because Helena and Meg allow them to get away with things, or they will have a louder voice than the other guys. So they just fly under the radar while the girls take all the heat or whatever, right? So Meg and Helena themselves, they're really starting to clue up on some things, and Helena has learned a new word. She has learned about boundaries. She's talking to Harry, basically saying, yeah, girls rubbing on you the way that Rhea was rubbing on you in Casa Amor, you can't do that anymore. I said, oh, we know how to set rules now. We know how to have standards. So now that you've seen Harry admit with his mouth that he will get away with things with you and will only respect a woman who demands respect, you now want to demand respect. Good for you. But like, the same thing you were mocking Shakira for, you're now doing yourself. Interesting. She also says that she's tired of looking stupid. Respectfully, you've made yourself look stupid. He has shown you time and time again that he will always embarrass you, and you keep forgiving him and getting back in that bed. You made yourself look stupid. Moving on, we have Harrison, who's not too far behind when it comes to Harry and making women look stupid, because here is Lauren asking for accountability from this man. All of a sudden he has amnesia. Baby, he is 22. His memory is not that bad. His memory is not that bad, okay? And he saw the things on screen. I'm sure that would have jogged your memory even a little bit. But yeah, she's asking for accountability from him. He can't remember anything. He's like, oh no, I don't want to be with her. You're the only girl I like in here. You're the only girl I want to pursue. And she accepts. And I'm like, girl, I don't want to say too much on Lauren because like she's fresh, but you have seen enough about Harrison to know that what he's saying right now is not genuine. And he's about to take you on the same ride he took Tony and he took Helena, and Harry has taken Helena and Shakira and any other girl that he's encountered with before. Like these guys, they're all cut from the same cloth. Dejon, he's in there too. Another thing that Harrison said that was so irritating is he said, Tony's just trying to get into my head, when clearly he's been the one seeking her out. Like she has been trying to shut things down, not effectively, but she's been trying to shut things down, and he seeks her out. He pokes at her, he flirts at her, he makes eyes at her, but he's trying to make it seem like, no, look at this girl. Like is that why women tend to turn on each other? Because there are men out here truly making them believe that the other girl is the problem? Scary work. I mean, I know that to be true, but like to see it happen in real time is like, whoa. Tony and Cash talk about their connection. He's really trying to be understanding. But yeah, he just didn't realize that she had as strong feelings for Harrison as she does. Tony does admit that she was pretending as if the feelings weren't there, but clearly that was just her way of protecting herself, and it just backfired. Cash in Casa Amor did say, if you are going to want trouble, you can't be doing a 180 on me. I guess he meant that. I thought it was just chat, but yeah, he actually does feel a way that Tony is now flipping the script here. Tony is honest and does say that she didn't entertain Harrison. Like she's been trying to shut things down. She doesn't pull him for chats and stuff, but I think you could make it more clear that you are done with him. And because you're not doing that, you are not done with him. If you guys recall, in the videos, Harrison was basically saying like, I didn't feel that spark with Tony in the beginning. Sometimes I don't have the urge to kiss her like that, like whatever. Just a lot of stuff that I thought would be the wake up call for Tony, but clearly it wasn't. She does admit that she was happier with Harrison than she is with Cash. And at first I wanted to be like, damn, Tony, like, did you even try with Cash? But I don't think Cash is trying with her. We later hear Cash being upset because he's like, I'm never second best. Like, I'm always the first option, you know? I would also think that he doesn't have to try to woo a girl, to pursue a girl, to court a girl. Like, if you want somebody, he'll get her. I've seen his TikToks, like the man is charming. I watched him on Are You the One? I was rooting for him, you know? So yeah, he probably doesn't woo the girl, and Tony might have a better time if he really was trying, but because he's not and they just got real comfortable, she has no choice but to remember those times with Harrison. Now, there were more bad times than good, but that's how manipulation works. They only remind you about the good and you totally forget how bad things were in totality. Dejon and Meg have a conversation, if we can call it that, because it's basically just him playing victim. He's basically like, oh, so you don't want to be exclusive anymore? You know, I can flip the script on you too, and I get... He's such a scary man. He's a scary, scary man. Anytime that he has been in the wrong, he finds a way to flip it on Meg. And not even that I don't even sympathize with Meg at all. But it was sad to see this girl then flip have the script flipped on her, and her now trying to be apologetic towards Dejon, her trying to win him back, her trying to manage his feelings when he is the perpetrator. Like, he's the one in the wrong. Then Meg finally calls herself a mug. She's like, no, I'm a mug. I'm literally a mug. I was a mug when he put me through everything. I was a mug when I kept forgiving him. I was a mug when I accepted being exclusive. And now here she is just trying to hold him accountable. She doesn't want to retract anything, but she wants him to answer for his actions. And he's now walking off, doing whatever. Like, oh, this conversation is boring. I don't want to do. He knows if he makes her feel bad, she will come crawling back, because that's what she always does. Before bed, we have Helena saying that Shakira can't keep her name out of her mouth. Girl, that's rich coming from you, but okay. Harrison shared with somebody that Tony was happier with him. Meg sees Dejon in the hall with Andrada. And it's still not sinking in for her, mind you. Helena and Meg hear Shakira laugh about their argument. Meg says she is done with Dejon because she had just wasted 5 weeks with him. And this is where everything kicked off. Actually, I need to add a clip for this because this was wild.
I am done. Like, I've wasted 5 weeks of my time in here. Sly as fuck. It literally is sly as fuck. You know I can take back the exclusive thing. That's what you just said.
How you're talking and you're going around the villa saying...
I haven't gone around the villa.
Like I said, things can change now.
Who said shush? Andrada, don't be in here saying shush to hear my conversation with Dee.
Boring. Why is it a big deal that I said shush? You're shouting at me. I told you, if you want to hear my conversation, walk up the stairs.
Telling all the girls to shush to listen to our conversation. I just told her to mind her own business.
Well, I didn't say anything bad. I just said, oh my God, Dee and Meg are arguing. That's all I said.
End of convo right now.
I didn't say anything bad.
Hun, I'm here. I'm literally right next to you.
I'm not
We're in
speaking
the
to you,
bed
though.
next to each
Yeah,
other.
but I'm not speaking to you, so mind your own. She's going through it and she's letting it out on other people.
I beg you, take a breather. Argue with yourself. You
I'm
still
begging
talking
you,
about
take a
me.
breather.
We're good here. We're good over here.
Meg always finds herself in shit over this guy. That would be enough for me to be done with him. I don't care how I feel about you. I don't care what kind of words you say to me. I don't care how much you pour your heart out, which is what Dejon said he did in the previous conversation. Oh, I poured my heart out to you. Really? At every turn, she finds herself into some BS because of this man. Either she's beefing with a girl, or she's beefing with him, or she's crying on her own, or she's trying to make excuses, or she's trying to crawl back to him and try to get forgiveness from him. Like, you're always in some shit over this man. Don't you get tired? Now you're fighting with Andrada, who, granted, probably shouldn't have wanted to eavesdrop on your situation, but you were literally sitting on those couches outside of the bathroom saying what you were saying because you were eavesdropping on another person and their situation. Like, girl, I mean, well, Shakira was talking about Meg and Helena, so maybe it's different. But yeah, the point is, you're eavesdropping, she's eavesdropping, everybody's doing it, you know? Andrada's still going on and on and on, and I like that people are giving Meg the business, because Meg in the previous episode was saying to Shakira, oh, pipe down. You don't want to have this argument because you're not going to win. I've said from the beginning, I think it was episode 3 or 4, that you can tell Meg does this on the outside and girls tend to be intimidated by her. So I like that Melisha didn't step down. I like that Shakira doesn't step down. I like that Andrada doesn't step down, because you're not going to bully me into submission because you think that you're the big bad dog. You're big Meg. No, absolutely not. So then Meg starts crying, and I wanted to feel bad for her. But then she's cuddling the same man who put her in this situation to begin with. Like, girl, if you don't want to save yourself, can't nobody come and save you. Can't nobody come and save you. Lord. Anyways, even before she was cuddling, she was like, we're good over here. And I'm like, you see? Dejon can do whatever and you will still find a way to defend the man. The next morning, they are having a conversation talking about how they're so nice and good to everybody and they're confused why people turn on them. Like, how could Helena and Harry say those things about us? Like, we're the good couple. We're so nice to everybody. No, you're not. No, you are not. You are high and mighty. You're self-righteous. You think you're better than everybody else. That's the realty. You think you're better than everybody else. And it's coming out that you're not, okay? Your man thinks you're an idiot. And unfortunately, you fall for it every friggin' time. Sorry, guys. Moving on. Harrison tells Lauren that, she's the only girl that he wants. If that's the case, leave Tony alone. And granted, he was leaving her alone. Tony did come for a chat. And she was trying to lay down the law. He's still being a little bit flirty. And that's exactly what Tony's trying to say. And Lauren. Tony's like, listen, don't flirt with me. Don't do that. And he's like, okay, I will steer clear from you. That didn't last very long at all. Then we see, he also said flirting with her is just a default. What? It is a choice. You are flirting with her by choice. You're making Lauren look stupid by choice. You've made Tony look stupid by choice. Granted, Tony has now enough evidence to want to remove herself from that situation, but Lauren is new here, so you are making her look dumb. You are. But anyways, Shakira says that she hasn't really spoken to Ty too much since coming into the villa. Like, he's easy, but maybe easy is just not working out for her, which is what Connor's basically saying. And Connor's trying to throw his hat in the ring regarding Shakira. He's had feelings for her from the beginning. So maybe all the other connections really wouldn't have worked out. Megan was a close one. But yeah, he's had his eye on Shakira the whole time. Shakira's not completely shutting it down, but she's like, we've been friends now for a while. I don't really know if I can get there, but we'll see. Then we see Billikis and Boris on the terrace. We haven't really seen too much from them. They're not too romantic, but I thought that this was a cute little conversation. They were manifesting a good time together and stuff. And did you guys notice that he calls her Billy Moi? I thought that was so cute. Anyways, in the evening, everybody's getting ready, for the cocktail, whatever stuff that they do in the evening. And Helena catches Harrison telling Tony to meet him on the terrace, but she didn't tell anybody else. I thought that was interesting. Helena typically is the town crier. But anyways, then while everybody is, dispersing into the night, obviously they notice that Tony and Harrison are gone. They assume that they're probably on the terrace. Lauren starts crying because obviously her man is doing her dirty and he's been lying to her face. And I'm thinking, yeah, Tony, you're going out bad for me. You've had criticism for Meg and Helena, and it's giving same. Kinda. It's giving same. You literally said you are looking out for not only yourself, but also for Lauren. And now you're doing to Lauren what has been done to you. It's not cute at all. They obviously want to be back together. Just be back together. The same way that Tony wanted him to pursue his other connection in front of her face to prove that he is standing on business, do that for Lauren's sake. I mean, don't rub it in her face on purpose, but don't be sneaking behind. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for her. It's embarrassing for y'all. Ooh, child. We're going to see what happens with them. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.